Hello everyone. I will be discussing multiple intelligences. What type of intelligence do you have? Do you know? Actually, we have 9 types of multiple intelligences. But before that, these are our objectives for today. First, to define the meaning of intelligence and multiple intelligences, to define each of the type of multiple intelligences, to give specific examples of multiple intelligences. Actually, we are all familiar with this theory. But before that, who is the proponent of this theory? Actually, so the concept of multiple intelligences is a theory proposed by a Harvard psychologist Howard Gardner. So, when you hear the word intelligence, what comes into your mind? So actually, the concept of IQ testing may immediately come to our mind when we uh, hear the word intelligence. Intelligence is often defined as our intellectual potential, something we are born with, something that can be measured, and a capacity that is difficult to change. So we have here uh, the meaning of intelligence. First is problem solving. We are aware with our emotional, the capacity for abstraction, logic, learning, understanding, self-awareness, creativity, reasoning, planning, and a critical thinker. Okay. So we have here the concept of multiple intelligences. So actually, these multiple intelligences, we can see usually this on how our student learn. It is the learning styles of our students on how they learn best in our class. So in order to capture the full range of abilities and talents that uh, people possess, so Gardner theorized that people do not have just an intellectual capacity but have many kinds of intelligence. So how this theory came? So, when it came about and how it was popularized. So, actually, this theory came during the 1970s when Gardner was doing his research, and it was believed widely that you could come up with a person's intelligence, and they determined as the IQ score, and people generally believe and accepted that you were born with a certain level of intelligence, and that is what you had your whole life, and this was the IQ score. But Gardner didn't believe this. So he conducted his research and have this theory. So intelligence was not static. Okay, so it was not like something you were born with, and that is what you had the rest of your life. Okay, he also believed that these IQ tests were mainly only testing certain type of intelligence. Okay, so We have here a picture, and this one says that for a fair selection, everybody has to take the same exam. Please climb the tree. We can see that most of the animals cannot do the task. So in real scenarios, we are good at some things and not good at others. So we can see here that one size does not fit all. So be flexible, and this one can say in this scenario that go fish, find your sea, as you are not destined with the tree, right? So actually, this pause is not related to anyone, but purely on showing how important a proper test is, and how important also for an individuals to know themselves and move on in life in search for the best match for their skills and talent. So I have here an example. So these are adapted in a YouTube video. These are activities for children. So for example, do these equations and write the correct letters for the numbers. What do you think is the appropriate multiple intelligence applied in this activity? So um, it is for the first activity, it is inclined in mathematics. So later on, we will be discussing the different types of multiple intelligences, and let us determine what is the most appropriate kind of multiple intelligence. Next is imagine you're a cat. Do these actions. So the learners will move their body and they will do these actions. Then the third activity, listen to the recording of the animal sounds. How many times can you hear a cat? So they will uh, hear the sound of a cat, and then they will also um, determine how many times they heard that uh, sound of a cat. So again, it uses the mathematical ability in their counting. So we will discuss now the different multiple intelligences. The first is the musical intelligence. So this intelligence refers to the inclination of sound and vibration. To be specific, music smart people are sensitive to varied elements of sound such as tone, beats, and sound patterns. So people who have strong musical intelligences are good at thinking in patterns, rhythms, and sounds. They have strong appreciation of for music and often good at musical composition and performance. So we have here the characteristics of a musical inclined person. So first is they enjoy singing and playing musical instruments, recognize musical patterns and tones easily, remember songs and melodies, have a rich understanding of musical structure, rhythm, and notes. So what are the possible potential career choices of this musical inclined person? So if you are strong in musical intelligence, good career choices for you are you can be a musician, composer, singer, possible din that music teacher, conductor, and many other more. The next intelligence is bodily kinesthetic. This intelligence is always associated with the concept of learning by doing. Thus, bodies smart people tend to have keen sense of body awareness, and they always use their body to execute tasks successfully. So those who have high bodily kinesthetic intelligence are said to be good at body movement, performing actions, and physical control. So people who are strong in this area tend to have excellent hand-eye coordination and dexterity. So what are the characteristics of this bodily kinesthetic individual? First is they are skilled at dancing and sports, enjoy creating things with his or her hands, have excellent physical coordination, and remember by doing rather than hearing or seeing. So, what are the potential career choice of this bodily kinesthetic individual? So, if you are strong in bodily kinesthetic intelligence, your good career choices uh, for you are possible that you can be a craft person, dancer, builder, surgeon, sculptor, actor, or many other more that is related to um, bodily kinesthetic. So the third one is the logical mathematical intelligence. So this intelligence uses numbers, math, and logic to find and understand the various patterns that occur in our lives. Thought patterns, number patterns, visual patterns, color patterns, and so on. So people who are strong in logical mathematical intelligence are good at reasoning, recognizing patterns, and logically analyzing problems. So these individuals tend to think conceptually about numbers, relationships, and patterns. So what are the characteristics of a um, logical mathematical person? So people with logical mathematical intelligence have excellent problem solving skills, enjoy thinking about abstract ideas, like conducting scientific experiments, can solve complex computation. So what are the possible potential careers of this um, logical, mathematical inclined person? So possible that you can be a scientist, mathematician, computer programmer, engineer, accountant, or um, other more. So the next one is the intrapersonal multiple intelligence. So this intelligence is our human self-reflective abilities by which we can step outside of ourselves and think about our own lives. This involves our uniquely human propensity to want to know the meaning, purpose, and significance of things. So individuals who are strong in intrapersonal intelligence are good at being aware of their own emotional states, feelings, and motivations. So they tend to enjoy self-reflection, analysis, um, including daydreaming, exploring relationships with others, and assessing their personal strengths. Okay, so what are the characteristics? First is they analyze their strengths and weaknesses well. They enjoy analyzing theories and ideas. They have excellent self-awareness. They understand the basis for his or her own motivations and feelings. So, what are the possible good career choices if you are a person with this type of intelligence? So, you can be a philosopher, you can be a writer, theorist, or it can also be a scientist. The next is the linguistic intelligence, from the word linguistic itself. So it pertains to our language. So linguistic inclined people rely on verbal and written communication. They are keen users of a language and they know how to use this strength in their favor through socio-cultural nuances of a language, like correct use of grammar and plays on words. So people who are strong in linguistic verbal intelligence are able to use words well, both when writing and speaking. So this type of individuals are typically very good at uh, writing stories, memorizing information, and reading. So their strengths would be on words, language, and writing. So the characteristics of these people with linguistic verbal intelligence. So first is they remember written and spoken information. They enjoy reading and writing. They debate or give persuasive speeches. They are able to explain things well. They use humor when telling stories. So if you are strong in linguistic verbal intelligence, so what are the possible career choices? You can be a writer or a journalist. You can be a lawyer. Possible then that you can be a teacher or um, any other more. A reporter, it can be. Okay, so the next type of intelligence is the interpersonal intelligence. So this is the person to person intelligence. So this happens when people smart work with and relate to other people. This develops a whole range of social skills that are needed for effective person to person communication. So those who have a strong interpersonal intelligence are good at understanding and interacting with other people. So these individuals are skilled at assessing the emotions, motivations, desires, and intentions of those around them. So these are the characteristics of um, interpersonal intelligence. First is they communicate well verbally. They are skilled at non-verbal communication. They see situations from different perspectives. They create positive relationships with others. They resolve conflicts in group settings. So, if you are strong in this interpersonal intelligence, um, your good career choices can be psychologist, philosopher, counselor, salesperson, politician. The next is the naturalistic intelligence. So this intelligence involves the full range of knowing that occurs in environment and through the encounters with the natural world, including recognition, appreciation, and understanding of the natural. So this is derived from the word natural. Okay, so naturalistic is the most recent addition to Gardner's theory and has been met with more resistance than his original seven intelligences. So according to Gardner, individuals who are high in this type of intelligences are more in tune with nature and are often interested in nurturing, uh, exploring the environment and learning about other species. These individuals are said to be highly aware of even subtle changes to their environments. So, these are the characteristics of um, naturalistic people. They are interested in subjects such as botany, biology, and zoology. They categorize and catalog information easily. They enjoy camping, gardening, hiking, and exploring the outdoors. They dislike learning unfamiliar topics that has not a connection to nature. So um, if you are strong in natural intelligence, then your good career choice must can be biologist, conservationist, I should say, gardener, farmer, or agriculturist. So those are the possible good career choices. We have also the visual spatial intelligence. So this intelligence represents the knowing that occurs through the shapes, images, patterns, designs, and textures art smart people see with external eyes, but also includes all of the images they are able to conjure inside their heads. So they are good at visualizing things. So these individuals are often good with directions as well as maps, charts, videos, and pictures. The characteristics of um, this kind of intelligence are they read and write for enjoyment. They are good at putting puzzles together. They interpret pictures, graph, and charts well. They enjoy drawing, painting, and the visual arts. They recognize patterns easily. So, if you are strong in this type of intelligence, um, good career choices for you are architect, artist, or it can be engineer also. We have also existential intelligence. So this is the ninth type of intelligence suggested as an addition to Gardner's original theory. So he described existential intelligence as an ability to delve into deeper questions about life and existence. People with this type of intelligence contemplate the big questions about topics such as the meaning and how actions can serve larger goals. So this is an ability to see the big picture. The characteristics are they have a long-term outlook. They consider how current actions influence future outcomes. They have interest in questions about the meaning of life and death, and then they have strong interests and concerns for others. The ability to see situations from an outside perspective. So if you have a strong sense of existential intelligence, then you might enjoy a career as a philosopher, theologian, pastoral counselor, or pastor. Before we will wrap up our discussion, let's go back to the different activities that I presented a while back and let us determine the type of intelligence being employed in the situation. So, in this first activity, what do you think is the type of intelligence being employed? Okay, so very good. It is a logical, mathematical intelligence. How about on the second activity? So it uses actions. So when uses actions, okay, it is on bodily kinesthetic. And then for the third one, listening and then counting. What type of intelligence being employed? So we have the um, logical, mathematical. So to wrap up, these multiple intelligences, the theory of multiple intelligences tries to describe and explain the learning styles of students depending on the varied ways of how they acquire knowledge. So the nine intelligence types are spatial intelligence, interpersonal intelligence, naturalistic intelligence, logical, mathematical intelligence, musical intelligence, intrapersonal intelligence, linguistic intelligence, existential intelligence, and bodily kinesthetic intelligence. So Gardner has cautioned that multiple intelligences should not be conflated with learning styles. So it is also important uh, to stress that evidence has found that matching instruction to a learner's perceived style has no benefits in terms of learning outcomes or educational attainment. So actually, there is lack of evidence to demonstrate that learning according to your intelligence produces better educational outcomes. However, you may find that learning more about multiple intelligences can give you a better understanding of your strengths and preferences. So, the nine multiple intelligences vary from person to person depending on their capabilities and how they learn. You can also use this assessment in finding the strength of your um, students by Dr. Terry Armstrong. So, um, in this assessment, they can find out which one uh, is best for them, if it is logical, mathematical, spatial, linguistic, or any other type of multiple intelligences. So these are my references. That ends my presentation. Thank you for listening. May God bless us all.